I think if you do art, whether you're a music producer, a rapper, a singer, a songwriter, musician, I personally think that it's very, very important to just surround yourself by those types of people.
Yeah.
You know, like if you rap, or let's say you're a songwriter, you're a singer, like you sing and you have this passion for singing, like you should know other singers. Right.
Oh, 100%.
And like other people that do
go to
music.
their shows.
There's so many people out there that are kind of like know a lot of people, but they're kind of like, you know, stuck in a way because you know, there's no access to different like-minded people. So I would say just like go out of your way to try to get with other people that do similar shit that you do. You know, this shit goes back to our conversation about like charging like a rapper, and if they don't pay you, then you're not going to work with them, right? It's like that shit is just so counterproductive to me. Right. It's just, well, how do you guys feel about like being around, you know, like-minded people? Perfection, I know you're, because of like the nature of what you do, being at like, you know, Engine Room and all that, like do you feel like you feed off of that energy? Because it's like that place is just like a creative place. People are in studios, they're writing, they're recording, like songs are getting mastered. Like do you feel like that's like a beneficial for you to be around that energy?
Yeah, for sure. I think for a lot of reasons. I think because it's inspiring, it's motivating, and it pushes you to, you know, do better and want to get better, you know, and just working with different people just opens your mind to everything. New possibilities, new opportunities, whether it be like, you know, work related or just even how you expand your mind on how you think you know, of things. Like, you know, Angela Yee, like I have so much love for her. You know, aside from her being like a client, she's like a genuine person that I can like really go to for advice. And she has such a different mindset than I do, of course, because she's older. She's been through, you know, a lot of things. She's been in the industry longer, but just even aside from like industry stuff, just her mindset on how to go about things just opens my mindset to like, you know, a different mentality in certain situations. And it's like, wow, like I could go about it this way, but this way is also, you know, beneficial and helpful or whatever, you know. So like it's great to be around that type of energy and those type of people, because it helps you mentally to grow, and then it just expands, you know, your knowledge in like the areas that you want to work on, like in music, and then in turn you just feel creative and inspired to want to be, you know, better. So for sure. It's true. And Glam, what is your opinion on that? Like just the idea of just being around like-minded people. I know you're around, like you've been around, like you've been in a couple rooms. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna put you on the spot. You don't have to talk about who or what, but like, and you've seen some shit, like how shit goes down. It's like, how is that like positive and negative for you, just as an artist?
I don't think it could ever be negative. I think it's always good to be like in a room, period, even if it might not be the right room. At least there's like some perspective to gain behind that. I think it's like a no-brainer. You need to be surrounded by people who do what you do. Like I think that's obvious. It's like if you feel like you can do it by yourself, I mean, like you could, but it's really difficult. And like it's kind of hard not to like click with other people who like do what you do. If you are like secure enough, you gotta be like, can't worry about, you can't, you,
the
like,
ego.
It can't be an ego, or like it could be competitive, but like on a different, like separate, you know, like don't like separate your ego from like learning how to like take advantage of situations and like people. Yo, community is everything. Like, you know, so I do these sessions called Pass the Aux, of course, and you know, we've done them in New York. We did Wallingford, Connecticut, and Los Angeles, and I'm actually coming to Philly, Baltimore, and Toronto in October. So go to my website, illmindproducer.com. Basically what I do is I get in the studio with producers and music creators, and we spend like 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. We spend the entire time. You plug in, pass the aux, play your song, play your music, and then we talk about your music, we talk about your situation, and it almost becomes this like community thing, right? Here's the kicker to what I learned about doing that though, and this is my
piece of advice if you're a music producer in a random city, right? I think the best thing you can do is create a clique for yourself.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, of course.
Like, and like, trust me, like, it doesn't matter where you're at. You don't have to be in a major city. In fact, if you're not in a major city, you're at an advantage. Find out, get your feet wet in the scene. This is what I would say. Find someone who plays guitar. Find someone who plays keys. Find another producer. Find someone who sings. And if you want, find someone who raps if you want. But if you start to create this like group of people around you that you can feed off of, then I think that is a good sort of like starting point and a good gateway to expanding your network and really just honing in on a sound. Like, yo, form your own clique. It's not that hard unless you're a dick or unless you have really bad social skills.
Yeah.
Like,
and there's some people that don't like working with other people. They'd rather be alone.
You're shooting yourself in the foot.
Absolutely. And you know, every successful producer, rapper, doesn't matter. They all came from a crew. Yeah. They all came from a clique. They all came from, name them. Did you say anybody's name right now? Yeah. They came from like
Pharrell.
A crew. Yeah, Neptunes. Right.
Chad Hugo, his fucking best friend in high school. They were both in band. They were like, yo, let's make beats together. Boom. And then they met Shay. Oh, you right? Cool. I'll do the vocals. You do the beats.
That's like Cool and Dre.
Cool and Dre. Yeah, same story. Guys, go back to our Cool and Dre episode where we interviewed Cool.
They were in an R&B group together.
R&B group. They're like, fuck it, let's make beats.
Who was it they were going to sign to?
Was it not Fat
No,
Joe.
it was Organized Noise. They were going to sign to one of the guys from Organized
Noise.
What's his name from Organized Noise?
Yeah. So
crazy. You
got to click up.
Yeah.
The click up is easy, and it's not that hard, guys.
Can't do it by yourself. It's impossible.
Nah.
It's impossible. It's not impossible, but the chances are a lot less likely.
Yeah.